The chart based on Kepler data shows Saudi Arabia's West Coast exports collapsing after late July. The 10-day moving average fell from roughly 5.4 million barrels per day to around 1.8 million barrels per day by August 10th. Wow! West Coast Saudi Arabia daily exports. I guess part of this is because of the Houthis and the shutdown of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and part of it's also probably because literally everything everywhere is faltering. Have you guys been to an airport recently? Have you noticed that all airports are getting worse and worse delays, flight times, runway traffic, and everything? It's getting really bad out there. We don't have a lot of time left. No? Okay, well, why would I be in an airport? Good point. Very good point. Hey, speaking of shipping out the west coast of Saudi Arabia, what about its east coast? How are things doing over there? Well, water temperatures in the Persian Gulf right now are as high as 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can actually get a warm bath in the Persian Gulf right now. Or at least you could if it wasn't for the fact that the Persian Gulf is now slick with oil. Multiple tankers have been sunk. You probably haven't heard about that on the news because the news has basically given up on covering the Iran war. They'll do anything and everything the Trump administration demands of them. Let me see if I can't find that. Sea of fire incoming. Yeah, it's gonna, you know, ignite just from the climate, the way things are going. Huge oil slick hitting Oman's shoreline as agencies warn of disaster. Massive environmental disaster, even on its own right. But as you can see, this is a little bit oilier than the Persian Gulf is meant to look like. Oil also increases the amount of heat absorbed by the local seas because it makes it darker. That's a good point, yeah. You're increasing the albedo. Not even covering the BBC? No, of course not. The people who run the BBC want the world to end. Doesn't everyone? Here, we should probably be listening to this.
It'll be a massive environmental disaster if it's not fully...
Oh, sorry, reducing the albedo, not increasing. Thank you, thank you. Sorry, it's been a while since I fucked around with Blender.
...mitigated, which is going to require Herculean efforts in coming days ahead. Environmental. The crew members reported a blast of some sort. The vessel still managed to make its way towards the Omani coast as a
What the fuck is that background music? Is that like... Why is it every time I click on this, it resets the video and mutes it? I thought I was listening to like... That drum line sounded like it was from Evangelion. You know that one tense drum line they play every time they cut to the Situation Room because a new angel is advancing? Bum, 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 bum. You know what I'm talking about? You wouldn't get it.
Members reported a blast of some sort. The vessel still managed to make its way towards the Omani coast. As a consequence, since then, a month later, the spill has got bigger, but we're certainly trying to corroborate as much info as possible on what happens next. One of the big problems is in coming days, and this is something that's been told to me by a number of sources, is that there needs to be some kind of containment, not just of the spill.
Yeah, that's not happening, buddy. Man, I can't even hit the pause button without it resetting. Everything's breaking.
As is saying, is potentially one of the factors has been that this tanker is under sanctions. It's a shadow fleet vessel, and therefore that might have had an impact upon the whole process involved in ensuring salvage begins. Despite everything we've seen in terms of the Strait of Hormuz being closed, the conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran, we've got another phenomenon.
If I remember correctly, that oil tanker being hit is just straightforwardly America's fault. I believe this is one of the tankers that America pushed into going through the Oman route against Iran's orders. Oh, no, this was a Russian tanker. Gotcha. Russian Shadow Fleet tanker. Where was it struck? Where exactly? Leaking tanker, Oman's coastline. Oh, okay, I remember reading about this back when it happened. This one ran aground on June 30th. Good stuff, good stuff. Can Trump just drop already? It won't fix a thing. A UAE tanker has been hit today. Oh, lovely. UAE says 2 ships belonging to ADNOC, Abu Dhabi's state oil company, and one of the large world's energy producers, were attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. Nice. Nice. I guess while we're doing a wrap-up on our involvement right now in the Middle East, U.S. to terminate 23-year military presence in Iraq by late September. Iran has succeeded in doing what all the protests in the world and America could not do. Tens of millions of people in America over the past 23 years have protested our occupation of Iraq in some form or another, but the brave soldiers over there at the IRGC did what no one else was willing to do. Actually bully us out of the Middle East. Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, we're gonna be out of there. Iran has won. I just hope we catch up to that news soon so we can, you know, pressure Israel into dropping its campaign in Lebanon. American century of humiliation. It really is a great moral shame that the entire world must suffer for the climate and not just the actors responsible. You know, there are billions of people who have contributed essentially nothing to the environment, carbon footprint-wise, who will suffer before and worse than any of us. Israel has entered the fight against the wildfires on the side of wildfires. I'm sorry, are you about to show me the flaming trebuchet? No, not the flaming trebuchet. Not really surprising, considering it is a death cult, right? Israel knows. I shouldn't say Israel knows. Israel isn't a real thing. Israel is an abstract geopolitical entity. Many of the people in charge of Israel right now are aware of the fact they're begetting the end of the world. The worst part is they probably feel bad about it. The Israeli military dropped flares in a wooded area outside of Qam in southern Lebanon, sparking blazes. I think Iran needs to go back to hitting Israel, you know? It doesn't matter how much America pulls out of the Middle East if Israel remains in Lebanon. Probably sake, but we've moved on from there. To the one drum theme. More strikes incoming. According to Israel's Channel 13, the commander of U.S. Central Command, Adam Brad Cooper, told Israeli officials during a recent visit he's pushing for renewed strikes and a resumption of the conflict against Iran. Expect the irrationality to increase, not decrease, the closer we get to oblivion. Let me see. Spilled oil chokes Persian Gulf as downed tanker leak goes unaddressed. Very good, very good. Iraq withdrawal was ordered by Biden. Oh, you're saying that this is the combat force withdrawal being referred to? Hold on one second. I thought Biden's order for the withdrawal from Iraq was for combat troops, so we would still maintain a military base presence. Am I incorrect on this? Or are these referring to the exact same thing? No. Okay, my apologies. I thought this was referring to a deployment outside of Iraq, different to the one that was already scheduled. It looks like Iran still has some bullying to do. University of Michigan drops grades for freshmen in the first semester to curb mental health crisis. Well, it doesn't really matter. Grades don't really matter anymore. The global economy is going to collapse. And universities are basically just job training centers at this point. Also, everyone's just cheating with AI. Like, what difference does it make? Sponsored by Meta? Yeah. Mental health challenges. Not like it makes a difference to them, right? Is there even a point to getting a degree at this point? I don't want to be responsible for your life choices. You can meet cool people in university. It's probably better than just, you know, never meeting anyone or forming any opportunities or whatever. Also, I do think that a real university education is probably going to become more valuable as humanity is reduced to smaller pockets and enclaves of desperate survivors trying to manage dwindling resources. Basically, what I'm saying is, right now, I don't know how valuable getting into, you know, debt for medical school is, but having doctors is going to be vital. So, you know, should I ditch my art degree? No, somebody needs to keep the torch of Western civilization held high. You think conservatives are going to... If the only people who have a stake in the maintenance of human culture left after the happening are conservatives, everything will look like fucking Dubai, okay? We need somebody around who cares. You're saying my philosophy degree isn't going to be helpful? No, I'm saying the opposite of that.